All right, so we're diving into something that's been making headlines,
Daytime.
especially for those of you getting ready for the UPSC exam.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about the Uniform Civil Code,
UCC.
the UCC.
Yeah.
And Uttarakhand just went and did it.
Yeah.
They became the first state in India to actually implement this thing.
First one.
So we're going to break it all down,
Yeah.
what it means,
The whole thing.
what's in it, and why it matters.
Exactly.
And for this deep dive,
Yes.
we've got some great insights from the Times of India and the Indian Express.
Excellent sources.
So this is a big deal for UPSC folks
yeah.
because it's not just like a news flash, you know?
And just a current event.
It ties into history and law and how society changes.
Big picture stuff.
You know, way back in 1950,
Yeah.
Article 44 of the Constitution.
Right.
It already mentioned this idea of a uniform civil code.
For everyone.
For all citizens. They were aiming for like...
legal unity.
Yeah, legal unity.
In a diverse nation.
Exactly.
It's tricky.
And so Uttarakhand's doing this now.
Right.
It brings this whole debate back to the forefront.
Like front and center.
So it's got some serious weight behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Historically, constitutionally.
Absolutely.
This is like prime material if you're thinking about those UPSC essays.
Yeah. Essay gold.
But let's back up for a sec.
Sure.
What does this actually change for like the everyday person
Right.
living in Uttarakhand?
Yeah. Good question.
If I'm just like,
Going about your day.
yeah, what's
Yeah.
different now?
So basically, it's all about making things fair.
Okay.
When it comes to personal stuff, like marriage,
Okay.
divorce,
Okay.
inheritance,
Got it.
adoption.
Probatermus?
So all that family stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The idea is to have one set of laws
Right.
that govern these things,
No matter your religion.
regardless of your faith. Exactly.
So that means no more separate rules for different religious communities.
That's the goal.
That's a pretty big shift.
It is.
Does this apply to everyone in Uttarakhand?
So it applies to most people. Okay.
But there are some exceptions.
Okay.
Scheduled tribes,
Okay.
they're exempt.
Okay.
And also people who have moved out of the state,
Interesting.
they're not covered.
So they're trying to protect those specific customs and traditions.
Yes. Recognizing that one size doesn't always fit all when you're dealing with culture and diversity.
Especially in a place like India.
Yeah.
You can't just say like, okay, everybody follow this one rule.
Not always.
And that's something to keep in mind.
Especially for those UPSC MCQs.
Oh, yeah.
They'll get you on those details.
Knowing the exceptions is just as important as knowing the rule.
Absolutely.
So let's say I'm not exempt.
Right.
I live in Uttarakhand.
Okay.
What are the biggest changes for me?
Well, let's start with marriage.
Okay.
Big one.
Okay.
Things like polygamy,
Okay.
child marriage,
Uh-huh.
practices like triple talaq.
Okay.
All gone.
Completely banned.
Completely banned.
Wow.
Legal age for marriage is now set
Quick.
21 for men, 18 for women.
Okay.
And you have to register your marriage.
Mandatory.
Mandatory.
Wow, those are some serious changes.
They are.
It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
how is this going to actually play out?
In real life.
Yeah, like on the ground.
Yeah.
What about inheritance?
Another big one.
I know that's a sensitive topic in a lot of communities.
Good topic.
What's changed there?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Sons and daughters,
Okay.
they now have equal inheritance rights.
Equal.
Equal. No more preference for sons.
That's huge.
The massive.
Not just symbolically,
Right.
but for women's economic power,
Absolutely.
your decision-making power.
Within families.
It's
Yeah.
a total game changer for women in Uttarakhand.
Yeah, could be.
But big changes like this,
Always come with questions.
yeah, how's this going to impact families?
Right.
Are we going to see legal battles over property?
Those are the kinds of things
Yeah.
UPSC examiners love to see you thinking about.
Those nuances.
The nuances, yeah.
And it's not just about traditional families either.
Nope.
What about children born in live-in relationships
Yeah, they're recognized now.
as legitimate?
Legitimate.
Same inheritance rights.
As children born within a marriage.
So they're recognizing how relationships are changing in India
Absolutely.
and making sure all those children are protected.
That's the goal.
So that's definitely progressive.
It is.
But what about live-in relationships themselves?
Yeah, good question.
Any new rules around those?
There are.
Okay.
If you're 21 and above,
Okay.
you have to register your live-in relationship.
You have to register it.
Yep. And if you're younger,
Okay.
you need your parents' consent.
Got it.
And get this.
What?
Even if you're from Uttarakhand,
Okay.
but you're living together in a different state,
Okay.
you still have to follow Uttarakhand's rules.
So even if I'm living in Delhi,
Right.
but I'm originally from Uttarakhand,
Uh-huh.
I still have to follow those rules.
That's right.
That's a pretty wide reach.
It is.
It shows you how complex it is.
Definitely.
Trying to make a uniform code
Yeah.
for a whole country.
Especially a country as diverse as India.
Exactly.
It's a challenge.
So to end a live-in relationship,
Right.
you need to do it formally.
You need mutual consent from both partners.
Partners.
And if there's a pregnancy,
yeah.
it has to be reported within 30 days of the baby being born
Okay.
to make sure the child's legal rights are protected.
It sounds like there's a lot of paperwork.
You might think so.
Yeah. Long queues?
But actually, Uttarakhand has gone digital.
What do you mean?
They've launched a whole online portal
For the UCC.
for everything related to the UCC.
Okay, now we're talking.
It's the 21st century, right?
Gotta make things easy to access.
Got to.
So tell me about this portal.
Okay.
I'm curious how they've managed to make all these legal procedures, like, simpler.
So they use Aadhaar-based verification
Okay.
to make sure it's really you.
Okay.
And they've got AI-powered translation in 22 languages.
So you can understand it all in your own language.
In your native language.
That's crucial.
It's all about inclusivity.
Yeah.
And it gets better.
It gets better.
This portal is connected to 13 other government departments.
Wait, so you're telling me
Yeah.
this UCC portal is like talking to other government databases?
Exactly.
Police records, court filings.
All linked together.
That's amazing.
It's about creating a seamless system.
They're trying to make it efficient.
Exactly. And there's more.
More?
They even have a talaq facility.
Oh, what?
Talaq.
What's that?
It's for emergency processing.
So if something urgent comes up, you can pay a fee,
A small fee.
and they'll fast track your application.
Fast track it.
So it's like getting a passport.
Yeah, kind of.
That's amazing.
They're committed to making this accessible.
This could be huge for people in rural areas.
Yeah, where access can be limited.
It's incredible how technology is changing how we deal with the legal system.
It's pretty amazing.
So they've also made registering wills super simple.
Super simple.
You do it all online.
Fill out a form,
Okay.
upload document.
Or
You can even record a 3-minute video.
a video will.
A video will.
That's wild.
Yes.
Imagine families like gathering around
Yeah.
to watch Grandpa's final wishes on YouTube.
Let's hope it doesn't turn into a reality show.
But it does show you how much they're trying to make this user-friendly.
Absolutely.
But what happens if someone just ignores these rules?
Great question.
Are there any consequences?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It starts with warnings
Okay.
if you don't comply.
Okay.
But if you keep ignoring them,
Uh-huh.
then you can get fined.
They're not messing around.
They're
though.
trying to find that balance.
Right.
Encourage people to adapt,
Okay.
but also make sure people take it seriously.
So it's not just about setting new rules.
Right.
It's about enforcing them.
Exactly.
And with a big legal change like this,
Yeah.
there are always pros and cons.
Always two sides to the coin.
What are some of the potential downsides?
Well, one concern is that this could threaten religious freedom
Okay.
and cultural diversity.
Okay.
Some people worry that this uniform code might accidentally suppress
Oh,
or even erase certain practices and beliefs.
that are important to specific communities.
Yeah, it's the fear.
So in trying to make everything uniform, we might lose some of the things that make India so unique.
It's a valid concern,
And it's a sensitive issue.
especially in India.
Yeah. Religious and cultural identities are really important.
Very important,
And that's just one part of it.
right?
This is a complex issue.
Multifaceted.
I feel like we're just scratching the surface here.
We've only just begun. Welcome back to the deep dive, everyone.
So we've got the basics down.
Yeah, the what's changing.
Yeah. And that awesome online portal.
Making it all happen.
But let's dig a little deeper now
Sure.
into the why.
The why behind it all.
Why is this whole uniform civil code thing
Right.
such a big deal for India?
Yeah, why all the fuss?
Especially for those getting ready for those UPSC exams.
Oh, absolutely.
This is important stuff.
It is.
So to get this, we need to go way back
Pick in time.
to 1950
Okay.
when they were writing the Indian Constitution.
Right after independence.
Article 44.
Uh-huh.
It already talked about this idea.
Of a UCC.
Yeah, a uniform civil code.
It's been there from the start.
Imagine it,
Okay.
a brand new
It's
country
diverse.
trying to find unity. And they saw the UCC as a way to get there,
Yeah, everyone living under the same set of laws,
no matter what their religion is.
regardless of faith.
So this isn't just about law.
No, it's not.
It's about India's identity after becoming independent.
Exactly.
This is like,
Textbook UPSC essay material.
yeah, why haven't they done it already then?
If it's been in the Constitution for so long.
Right.
Well, it's tricky.
Okay.
Really tricky.
What's so tricky about it?
India has so many different religions
Right.
and cultures, each with their own customs and beliefs.
Right.
So making a uniform code,
Yeah.
it means navigating those differences.
You can't just step on people's toes.
You have to be careful.
You have to make sure nobody feels like...
Yeah, like their identity is being erased.
That's a tough balancing act.
It is.
Uniformity,
Yeah.
but also protecting culture.
Exactly.
No wonder this has been debated for ages.
Decades of debate.
And still no easy answers.
No easy answers.
So some religious groups have been really against it.
They see it as a threat.
To their personal laws.
Exactly. They worry that it'll be like imposing a majority viewpoint.
Right.
And that minority communities might get pushed aside.
So it's about individual rights.
Uh-huh.
Versus what's good for everyone.
The classic dilemma.
Yeah, in any democracy.
You've got to find that balance.
So why is Uttarakhand doing this such a big deal then?
Well, they're the first ones.
To actually do it.
Yeah, they took the plunge.
This could change the whole conversation.
Somewhat.
Like a test case.
Yeah. A litmus test.
If it works there.
Other states might follow.
Or if it fails.
They might get scared off.
And the central government.
They're watching closely.
They've said they want a UCC for the whole country.
They have.
So they want to see how this plays out.
Absolutely.
And for our UPSC folks out there.
Yeah.
This is where it gets really interesting.
This is the good stuff.
Think about the impact of this.
Okay.
The social and political consequences.
Oh, you'll fall out.
What are the arguments for and against it?
All those angles.
This is crucial.
For both prelims and mains.
This is the stuff they'll ask you about.
Absolutely. It's not about just memorizing facts. You've got to show them you understand.
That you can think critically.
The complexity, the potential problems, the long-term effects.
So let's play devil's advocate for a minute.
Okay, I like it.
What are some of the strongest arguments against this?
Against the UCC.
Even just in one state.
Well, some people say it's meddling.
Meddling in what?
In personal matters. They believe people should get to choose.
Here's what.
Which laws apply to their own lives. Especially when those laws are connected to their faith and their cultural practices.
So it's about personal freedom.
Yeah.
Individual autonomy.
Versus the government stepping in and saying, you have to do this.
That's a big debate.
Not just in India.
All over the world.
That's just something people are talking about everywhere.
It's a global issue.
And then there's the practicality of it.
Right.
Can one set of rules really work?
In a country as diverse as India, critics say no.
They say it ignores the nuances.
The differences between communities.
And that could lead to problems.
Unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Maybe even social unrest.
It's a risk.
So it's not just about the law itself.
It's about how you implement it.
And whether it's sensitive to how different communities actually live.
Absolutely.
And then there's the impact on women's rights.
Huge topic.
That's a big one.
A lot of debate there.
Some say it's a step forward for equality.
Yeah, a progressive move.
But others say it doesn't go far enough.
Right.
We talked about inheritance rights for daughters.
Yeah, that's a big win.
Definitely positive.
But there are other issues, like marital rape and domestic violence.
Okay.
The UCC doesn't really address those.
So it's about how those personal laws affect the power dynamics.
Within families and society.
It's about more than just the words on the page.
It's about how those laws play out in real life.
This is deep stuff.
It is.
For our UPSC folks.
Yeah.
Analyzing this through the lens of gender.
Looking at the strengths and weaknesses.
That's what they want to see.
It shows you can think critically.
So this whole UCC debate.
Yeah.
It's not going away anytime soon.
It's just getting started.
Even in Uttarakhand.
It's dynamic.
It's evolving.
It's going to have ripple effects.
And I bet we're going to see legal challenges.
Oh, for sure.
People are going to go to court.
And the courts will have to decide.
Yeah. Is this constitutional?
Is it fair?
Is it actually equitable?
Those are big questions.
This could set precedents.
The whole country?
It's like we're watching history happen.
It's exciting.
Right in front of us.
But it's complex with all these different angles. Legal, historical, social, political.
It's all connected.
Don't forget to check out those reports.
Yeah.
From the Times of India and the Indian Express.
They'll give you all the details you need.
The context.
We've covered a lot.
We have.
But there's more to come.
Oh, yeah.
In part 3, we'll look at the political side of things.
The reactions from different communities.
What about the global implications?
We'll get into all of that.
Welcome back for the final part of our deep dive into Uttarakhand and their uniform civil code.
It's been a fascinating journey.
We've gone through the what and the why and the how.
All the angles.
But now it's time to see what people are actually saying about it.
Right, the reactions.
Yeah, because it's definitely been a mixed bag.
Oh, yeah, a real mixed bag.
So let's map out the political landscape here. Who's giving this UCC a thumbs up?
Okay.
And who's not so thrilled?
Got it.
So the ruling party at the center,
Yeah.
they've been pushing for a UCC for the whole country.
For a long time.
They see this as a step in the right direction.
It's a win for them.
Yeah, they're probably popping champagne corks.
Celebrating.
But I'm guessing not everyone's joining the party.
Right.
What are the opposition parties saying?
Some of them are questioning the speed.
Okay.
How quickly this all happened.
Like they rushed it through.
And they're saying there wasn't enough talking
Talking with who?
with everyone who's going to be affected.
Like minority groups?
Especially them.
They might be worried about certain parts of the code.
Yeah, some of the details.
So it's about making sure everyone feels heard,
Yes.
that nobody gets left out.
Inclusivity is key.
It's about finding that balance,
Yeah.
pushing for uniformity.
But also respecting everyone's differences.
That's not easy.
It's a delicate balance.
And some opposition parties are even saying
What are they saying?
that this whole thing is just a way to force a majority agenda
Okay.
and that minority communities could lose some of their freedoms.
Cultural and religious freedom.
This is where the debate gets really intense.
Yeah, it can get heated.
So this is something for those UPSC folks to really pay attention to.
Oh, yeah.
How are different political parties talking about this?
Yeah.
What kind of alliances are they making?
What's their rhetoric?
This is all important stuff.
For political science and current affairs.
You've got to read between the lines.
Yeah.
What are their motives?
What's the real story?
And how could this affect things like social harmony?
Will it bring people together?
Or will it create more divisions?
Those are the questions.
It's not just a law.
It's not.
It's a whole social and political thing.
It's a tinderbox.
And I have a feeling this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
We talked about legal challenges.
Right.
People are going to take this to court.
And the courts will have to figure it out.
Is it constitutional?
Does it follow the rules?
Is it fair to everyone?
Big questions.
This could change everything.
Set precedents.
Not just in Uttarakhand.
But for all of India.
It's a landmark case.
Definitely a landmark case.
So we've talked about the impact on India.
Right.
But what about the rest of the world?
Okay, yeah.
India is a major player globally.
A big influence.
Could this whole UCC thing have an impact on how other countries deal with similar issues?
Potentially.
So India is kind of like a model.
A testing ground.
Yeah, for secular democracy.
Trying to balance individual rights with a unified legal system.
Everyone's watching to see what happens.
Yeah. Will it work?
And what can they learn from it?
Especially countries with lots of different religions.
Those are the kinds of questions that will really impress those UPSC examiners.
They want to see you thinking globally.
It's not just about memorizing facts.
You got to connect the dots.
See the big picture?
Exactly.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here.
A deep dive indeed.
We've looked at this from every angle.
Legal, historical, social, political.
We even went global.
We did.
I think we've squeezed every bit of insight.
Out of those times of India and Indian Express reports.
We did our best.
We did.
And hopefully you listening out there have a better understanding of this whole thing.
It's a complex issue.
It is. And it's going to be in the news for a while.
So stay informed.
Keep learning.
Keep those critical thinking skills sharp.
That's what we're all about here on The Deep Dive.
In-depth analysis.
Getting to the heart of the matter.
And for our UPSC folks,
we hope this deep dive gave you that extra edge.
The knowledge you need.
So if you like this episode,
hit that like button.
Subscribe to The Deep Dive for more.
More deep dive.
More insights. More analysis.
We'll see you next time.
Keep those minds curious.
And keep diving deep.